Hello, welcome back to the PL/SQL tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to discuss about PL/SQL expressions. So, what is an PL/SQL expression? So, let's say, for example, I declare so this is a PL/SQL block. So, I declare X number, and then I do begin, and then I assign X is equal to 5. So, this is called an expression. Okay, and then I do some sort of things, and then this is called expression, where X is this is called operand, and this is called operator, and this is again operand. Okay. So what I showed you a very simple PL/SQL expression, but this expression can be very complicated with multiple variables and multiple operands and all, right? And then in this chapter, what we're going to discuss about, we're going to show you different types of operators and then different types of PL/SQL expressions. Okay? And then we'll conclude this chapter with a lot of examples. Right? So before I want to go, so let's discuss about a couple of operators. So there are 5 different types of operators that you see in PL/SQL. Number one is concatenation, arithmetic operator, logical operator, comparison operator, and exponential operators. Okay, so I'm going to give an example of each of these operators. So before we go to the examples, let's take a look at the precedence. Like for example, the exponential operator is higher precedence than the plus or minus, or than the unary operator and all this. So basically, if you go down the table, the operator precedence decreases. So that means I have expression when I do have an operator with multiplication and division and a plus, then multiplication and division will take precedence over plus and minus. So let's take an example. So here is an arithmetic operator. I am going to show you that 5 plus 12 by 5 by 4, right? So 5 plus 12 by 4, right? So we have in this expression, we have two operators. One is plus, another is division. And from our operator precedence table, we know that division is more priority than the plus. So therefore, in this case, the division is going to be executed first. So that means this part is going to be executed first, and then it is going to give me an answer to 3. And then I will add, so 5 plus 3, 8. So this is how the answer of this expression will be 8. And then in the second example, 12 by 4 plus 5. So in this case, again, since division is first, so this is going to be executed first, and then this answer is 3, and plus 5 become 8. In this case, 8 plus 6 by 2, so 6 by 2 is going to be done first. So 6 by 2 is 3 plus 8, 11. Well, once you add a parenthesis, then the parenthesis will take the first priority. That means in this expression, 8 plus 6 is going to be evaluated first and then divided by 2. So that means 8 plus 6 is 14, by 2 is 7. Okay. It looks like some expression, but because of the parenthesis, things change. Okay. So these are the example of arithmetic operator where we are using arithmetic operator to build the expression. Okay. So let's take example of concatenation operators. So let's say I have one variable x, so that means x is new, and then I have another variable called y, so this is York, and what I have to do is that if I do x concatenate, so this is a new operator that we have seen here, so concatenate, so it is going to concatenate new and x and y, so the answer will be New York. So let's take an example in SQL Developer to see that if things works fine or not. So this is my concatenation operator, so I add new and York, and then I want to basically set my PL/SQL my DBMS output, and then this thing I run this program. So it didn't run. Okay, so anonymous block completed, and then if I go to my output is anyone. Okay. So let's try to do something else. Like if I want to define a variable, say a, and then I say number, and then I assign that number, and then in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign that A is equals to 10. So now, if I want to concatenate A with Y, then what I should get 10 York. So that is what concatenation operation does. And I got 10 York. All right. So let's say if I want to do something like I have a variable A, and then also I have to declare another variable B number. And then say I add, say B is equal to 10, say 20. And then I concatenate A and B. So in that case, what I'm going to get is something 10, 20. Right? So it's something like 10. And I got 10, 20. So this is how the concatenation operator works, and then basically based on what. But remember, this is not something that's equal as plus. That is, we're not adding A plus B. Okay, it's just concatenate to two strings. And the next operator we have is logical operators. This is something like Boolean variables and all these things we manipulate. So here in this case we declared X Boolean, Y Boolean, G Boolean, and then I evaluated G is equal to X and Y. So it's true and false. So G is become false, and then hence now this condition is not only satisfied, and it's going to go to this block and it's going to print the values false. Okay. So that is an example of for logical operators. And then next thing about comparison operator, that these are the couple of new operators that you may not have seen in any other language, but we have in PL/SQL. It's called is null operator, like operator, between, and in. So let's take some example to see what kind of comparison operator we have. So here is to showcase a null operator. Say I declare a variable X number. Since I do not assign anything to value, so by default the value is null. So therefore, if I want to do this condition, if X is null, X is null basically returning me true, and therefore this DBMS output put line will be executed. Right. So this is how we are going to execute. We're going to basically deal with is null operator. And let's say if I want to give X equal to number, and then I say 10. So if you assign the value to 10 to X, then now this is going to be false because X is 10, not null. Okay. And then to show the like operator, what I have done is that I have declared a variable y is a varchar, and then I assign to neutrally. And then I can do something like y like a pattern. So this is called a pattern. DEL is a pattern. So basically, if you see this pattern, which is wildcard to beginning, that means it can contain any number of characters before DEL, and it can contain any number of characters after DEL. So that is the example. That is the meaning of this pattern. So by choosing the pattern intelligently, you can basically match with the string. So in this case, we are saying that okay, y like so neutrally is like DEL, so therefore it's going to be pattern is found. Well, the next one is in between operator. So this is something like X is equal to 5. Then what I'm saying is that if X is between 1 to 10, then this will be evaluated to true. So this is something that I can also do instead of writing between. I can write 1 is less than X less than 10. That also still valid, but or a PL/SQL gives you a better English-like operator, which is called between. That does the same thing, whatever you could have done with that logical operators. And then here is another example of in. The in operator is something that we have a list of values, and then we just want to check that if our value is in that list. Okay, so in this case, I assign y is equal to red, and then if I check that if that red is there in this list, then it's going to return true. Okay. So these are very powerful operators. All of this, what you see, is very powerful operators whenever you use this in context of an SQL. So to summarize all this thing that we learn here, how to, what is an expression, and what are the precedents of operator, and then we will learn a couple of new operators like comparison operators, like in, between, and then like in, and then between. What else we learned? So let's take an example like, and then like. Okay, so that's very important operator, like, and then is null operator. Okay, so that's what we learned, and then okay, thanks for joining the class.